All right, good morning, everybody. Welcome. It's the first meeting. We have everybody day shift here. We'll be doing this tonight with a night shift guys. So it's a learning club. It's a bit of an introduction and learning and why are we here, right? So Trevor's brought me in to help you guys because there's a lot of issues. You know, a lot of companies have a lot of issues and they don't know how to solve it. I have a formula. I'm going to teach you guys. And within 6 months' time, you guys are going to go, why haven't we been doing this a long time ago? Okay. So welcome and enjoy the ride. Okay. So we're going to be, I've been speaking to you guys a lot. Okay. So let's do a quick stretch. Okay. Stretching is very important. Okay. Very important. We're going to do, okay. Change over your bottom here. Change over that side. Chris is already stretched out, hey? Change over there. Oh, come on, you guys. You're too good to stretch, eh? Okay, change over. All right. A rough weekend. Too much drinking. Okay, that's fine. All right, I've been meeting with everybody. Imam, this is the first day I meet you, but I've spent some time with everybody, so I know a bit about you guys. I don't think you guys know much about me, so I'll spend like a minute or two explaining who I am. I grew up in South Africa, and as you can see on the farm, I was never afraid of doing some hard work. I love music. I play drums. I play drums for the church. That go-kart we built ourselves, and we had fun. And I got an engineering degree back in South Africa. I came to Australia and I worked a bit here, but then I went back to my dad and I worked for my dad at a company called Net Plant Nursery. We had about half the staff when I started, about 35 people, and we grew the business to 3 times the size with 70 people. We had like 12 trucks and that. We were growing retail plants and that. Very difficult business because plants expire and they got out of date, and you plant now and you can only sell it in 9 months' time. So it was a very challenging business. This is Vic. And then I immigrated to Australia in 2019. Hey Vivek, welcome. I worked for a nursery called Alpine Nurseries in Dural. I was a production manager there for 2 years. And then I was poached by these guys, Jeff and Jermaine, and they have a seedling and hydroponic nursery. And what I'm going to be working with you guys, I did with them, and I changed their business. They've just come back from a 6-week holiday with no problems in their business because they were able to put systems and people in place. And hopefully you guys will also be taking some holidays. Okay. So that's who I am. And now I've got my own business called Proper Growth. I help businesses grow people. So I help people grow people. And that's the essence. If you don't have good people doing good things in the company, you're going to really struggle in the company. Okay. Now, everybody here who I've been speaking to are really good people. There's just an element missing. You guys just don't know what you don't know. And that's where I'm going to be explaining a bit more. All right. Okay, we won't have time for this, so we'll leave that for now. Learning model. Have you guys heard of a conscious competence learning model? Who has? Has anybody heard about that? No. Conscious competence. Okay, that's exactly why I'm here. Okay, so conscious competence. Very simple. Unconscious incompetent. You don't know what you don't know. That's the first thing. You guys don't know that there's a better way to do the way that you're doing things, okay? And you've never had the opportunity to actually look into it, right? So that's called unconscious competence. Next level is a conscious competence. You actually become aware of it. Sometimes what happens is it's a paradigm shift, like, oh my goodness, that actually, you can do that, right? So that's when you become aware of it. You just don't know how to do it. Okay, and then your next stage is conscious competence, which means you're actually working towards it. You're trying to work at it to make it better. And then the last stage is unconscious competence. That's when you do it naturally. Okay, so a great example is writing. When you're a baby, do you think you know anything about writing?
No.
No idea. You're a baby, all you know is your mom. You know, you want food and sleep and poo. That's it, right? When do you get to that stage? Conscious incompetence.
School, beginning of school.
Yeah, you realize, oh my goodness, there's this thing called writing. You can actually write, right? And that's communication, right? But when you're in school now, you're starting to learn. You actually have to write. Who can write like or who instantly was able to do the alphabet? No, you can't do it. It took months or years, right? And that's exactly the same thing. You have to work at something to get it good at it. Who here can blindfolded write their name? You guys can write your name. Hopefully, I hope you guys can. You can do blindfolded. Why? Because you've actually worked at it, right? So this is a very important thing. So what I'm gonna be teaching you in the next couple of months, you guys have no idea about. You've never been exposed to it. And it's going to take some time. You're going to think, oh my goodness, okay, wow, this is actually amazing. And it's going to take some time to implement it. Okay. So, but the first thing is most important is to say, why does Sydney Food and Packaging exist as an organization? Okay, some of the people know why. Okay, but who here wants to take a shot at why do you think Sydney Food and Packaging exists?
For business.
It's for a business, right? Okay. So it's what about the business?
Like to keep it going, keep it flowing.
Keep it flowing, okay. What else?
That's his vision, to provide him and his family a lifestyle that he envisaged.
Okay.
And by working here, that also happens to us downstream.
Yeah. So what I mean, okay, that's one of the visions that you can see, but that's not maybe what Trevor sees. Okay, we'll move on to that. Okay, so there's
probably the world's simplest idea. I call it the golden circle.
Oops, sorry.
Some organizations and some leaders are able to inspire where others aren't. Every single person, every single organization on the planet knows what they do 100%. Some know how they do it, but very few people or organizations know why they do what they do. By why, I mean what's your purpose? What's your cause? What's your belief? And why should anyone care? The inspired leaders and the inspired organizations all think, act, and communicate from the inside out. Let me give you an example. If Apple were like everyone else, a marketing message from them might sound like this. We make great computers. They're beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? Meh. That's how most marketing is done. That's how most sales is done. We say what we do. We say how we're different or how we're better, and we expect some sort of behavior, a purchase, a vote, something like that. Here's how Apple actually communicates. Everything we do, we believe in challenging the status quo. We believe in thinking differently. The way we challenge the status quo is by making our products beautifully designed, simple to use, and user-friendly. Want to buy one? People don't buy what you do, people buy why you do it. The goal is not to do business with everybody who needs what you have. The goal is to do business with people who believe what you believe. Again, the goal is not just to sell people who need what you have. The goal is to sell to people who believe what you believe. If you hire people just because they can do a job, they'll work for your money. But if you hire people who believe what you believe, they work for you with blood and sweat and tears.
And that's what we've got you. We want people to believe in what we're doing. So that's why the first thing I'm working with Trevor is why. Why are we in business? Because the truly great companies that last are the ones that actually have a greater purpose than just making money. Okay, so it's really important. So he's got his golden circle. Why? Most companies that last do well know exactly why they're in business and they work that way out. Okay, what they do. So, whoops. I've spent a lot of time with Trevor trying to hammer out what is your purpose, because he wasn't sure. But we've basically come down to make our customers' lives easier and to support our families. Do you want to say a little bit about that, Trevor? Like, where did that come from? Why is that important to you in the business?
Well, I think if you look at our logo, kind of says it all. But at the end of the day, there's heaps of food service distributors out in the market, but they don't all do what we do. Okay, so they can't get everything from their food service distributor. Yeah, so our whole thing is being the one-stop shop and delivering quality means a customer can get what they want from us when they need it in the right condition. So that's really what we're all about. So a customer doesn't have to go and find 10 different suppliers to get their packaging, their dairy, their frozen stuff. They can just get it all on one invoice. Okay, and obviously if we do well enough, we can keep all our jobs and we support all our families, as does the customer. So remember, the customer's also got a family, so we've got to make their life easier so they can then go and spend more time with their family, not so much time at work. That's pretty much what it boils down to.
That's it. And so this is what I'm going to hammer with you guys. Because when there's tough decisions to make, it's going to fall back onto, well, are we making our customers' lives easier? Is it how we're packing our orders, or how are we sending invoices? How are we communicating with them? Is that making their lives easier? Because that's so important. If we get that right, the customers are going to keep coming back. We don't have to worry about our jobs because we can support our families. It's so important. Like you guys, remember the learning model? You only know what you know. And normally it's like, okay, well, this is now important. So now we're going to start working on this. And you'll start coming to work. My goal is for you guys to come to work and actually go home with a big smile on your face thinking, I did a great job. Right?
And just remember, this is going to be in 2 parts now. So this is only half of it. So our half is to get the orders correct for the customer, make sure it's entered in the system correctly, and we've got the stock here. Okay, then with night shift again, they've got to pick and deliver the order. So that's the second part of Edwin's job.
That's exactly right.
Okay.
So,
why is an origin story? It's why we get out of bed in the morning, and it's why people care. It's this deep-seated purpose, cause, or belief. It's a spark inside of us. And it's present all the time. It's different than motivation. Inspiration is different than motivation. Motivation can be externally driven. It can be temporary. You can be motivated for fear of punishment. If you're going to get punished, you can be motivated. And if you're going to get rewarded, you can be motivated. But it doesn't last. That feeling goes away, and you have to keep repeating it. Inspiration is this little thing that burns inside of us, sometimes brighter, sometimes dimmer, but it's always there. And it's where we go to for that internal strength. And it's fueled by our idealism, and it's fueled by the love of our friends and our colleagues and our coworkers and our family. That's what keeps that spirit alive. And I make a point to distinguish the difference between positivity and optimism. It's important for us to be optimistic now. And to me, positivity is not. Positivity is like looking at the world and saying everything's good. But the world is difficult right now. But optimism is about being in a dark tunnel and seeing the light. And you're not focused on the tunnel, you're focused on the light. Optimism is not the denial of the current state. It's the belief that if we keep moving, we will hit the light. I don't know.
So, hopefully that's a little bit inspiring. But look, at the moment, things aren't great. But I'm here to tell you things will get better. If we work together and we work in unison, and we can make a really big difference, and we can make a really good dent in this industry. Because like Trevor said, there's a lot of competition, and how are we going to be different? That's the key. So another part of why we do things is how do we behave? And how do we behave comes back to values. What are our values? This, again, is very, very important. How are we behaving in the marketplace? So I'm going to do another little short 2-minute video.
Your values are who you are when you are at your natural best. Your culture already exists, but you're not necessarily always operating at your natural best. And that's as true for companies as it is for individuals. And so to uncover your values is not aspirational. It's a process of discovery. And then you can write down this. I've never seen more than 5, weirdly. Don't understand the biology. But when you start getting more than 5, they start to overlap enough that you could probably eliminate one of them, which I think is interesting. But there's at least, at most 5 values, 3 to 5, that are who you are when you operate at your natural best. And now the question is can you develop recognition, rewards, incentives to promote those values Are you talking about those values? Are you hiring to those values? Are you firing people who may be high performers but refuse to live to those values? Because then what you're doing is reinforcing to the rest of the company that the values matter more than anything else, which is really important. Because if we talk about values, but then all we do is promote toxic team members who are high performers, and we've all had this happen, where sometimes even management knows. They're like, that person is a real asshole. They're like, I know, but their numbers are so good, right? And then we let them be. And so that sends a message to the rest of the company that we're talking about these values, but we don't actually believe it. And so we don't necessarily have to fire the person, but we do have to coach that person.
Okay, values. Who we are at our natural best. Okay, so Trevor's, it's his company, so it falls down to him. How does he want him and his staff to behave, right? So you want to talk about the first one? How do we behave as an organization? We all think on our feet. You want to talk about that?
So again, I think it's always, this question, what must I do? How must I do this? Is this all right? I think it's, guys, we've all got a brain. Let's just use it and make a decision. If the decision's wrong, we can worry about it afterwards. Okay, but let's just do it. If we need to get something done, make a call and get it done. That's all.
Second one is we all take ownership.
So you make a mistake, just like Matt did on Friday. He said, listen, guys, I stuffed up. Take ownership, and then we can move on. Because Jean as well, crying the other day, I made a mistake on an order. We can fix it. Okay, it's not a big deal. Let's just say, I made a mistake, stuffed up. I don't want to find out from someone else that someone drove a forklift through the door. Just own up and we can get it fixed straight away.
Yeah, ownership is responsibility. It's really, really important. Okay, we all show care.
Again, we can help each other. I think that's what it's all about. Being a family, and someone needs help with something, well, everyone else will just climb in and help them.
And like the photo here is also, think about your fellow person, right? Think if you leave this place in a mess, then they've got to pick up. And same with like the day shift and the night shift, right? You guys are two sides of the same coin, but if you're working against each other, it's really hard to do your work properly. And then last one is we all have fun. This is an important one for you, hey?
And I'm not having fun at the moment. So I think, work used to be fun coming here. We used to have parties. We used to enjoy work, and I want to get back to that stage. We can go out, we can go bowling, we can go whatever it is, and actually look forward to coming to work.
So these are essential things that we'll keep repeating. Because when you get to a difficult decision, you'll be like, okay, well, what are the company values? Am I aligned to what we're doing here? And if, like you said, you make a mistake, it's okay. We can say, okay, well, you know what? You took ownership. You thought on your feet. It's fine. Let's fix it. Let's work together and we'll get a solution. Okay. So I want to quickly divide into 4 groups. How many people we got here? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18. All right. 18 divided by 4?
2 5s and 2 4s.
Okay. 2 5s and 2 4s. All right. You 5, you 5, you 4, and you 4. Okay. Just quickly. So each group is given a company value. So you guys will be the feet, ownership, care, and you guys will be fun. All right? All right. So talk about what happens when people use the values in a good way and what happens when they don't. So just for 4 minutes, quickly get some examples, and then we're going to go around the room and we're going to share what is that example, what does that look like? Okay. So I want to hear some conversation. Are we ready? Okay.
I've seen it, yeah.
I'm very excited to. I'm gonna quickly. Okay. Second, that's not gonna work there. All right. Here's a spokesman first. Team 1, talking about all the thinking on your feet. So what does that look like in a good way, and what does it look like in not a great way?
I think it just means for us to be able to make quick actions that's going to be helping the customer and ourselves to be taking ownership of things that we've done, but also making sure that we are putting their interests first as well as the business. So a perfect example is last week we had an issue on Friday where one of my customers didn't get cups. So I went in, to another customer who I've got a really good relationship with, borrowed some of their cups to give to another customer, which everyone was happy. And then today we're going to deliver cups to them so they've got enough to get through this week.
Great. Yeah, that's thinking on your feet. Thinking outside the box. Brilliant. So what does it not look good when you're not thinking on your feet?
Customer wouldn't have had cups.
Yeah, with their cups, but also just not being able to think quickly enough, and they get annoyed or not reacting fast enough that they just go to another competitor or someone else.
Yeah. So basically like ignoring the problem.
Yeah.
There's a problem, you face it. That's what this is about.
Don't pass the bar.
Yeah. And you know what? You've got 18 other people here. They all have brains. You can always say, hey, what do you think? You don't always have the solutions, but there's people here, they're on the same side. They're wearing your jersey. Good. Okay. Team 2, we all take ownership. What does that look like in a good way?
I got the easy one. So basically, it's stuff up, own up.
Yeah.
I think it's important that we do take ownership when we do make a mistake, even if it's intentional or non-intentional, because other people can then learn from our mistakes. And it's also a learning curve for ourselves. So a prime example was what happened on Friday. Like, don't want to think, but we ran out of milk. We took ownership because we wanted to take, we didn't want our customers to be let down.
Yeah.
We didn't have any milk here. So basically, 2 guys got into a van, picked up stock from supplier, went out, delivered to the customers who basically didn't get stock. And that's basically taking care of our customers so that they can see that we're going above and beyond. We're taking ownership that we stuffed up. So that they can come back and basically use us again.
Yeah.
So if you keep sweeping it under the rug, we're never going to learn from it. The problem just becomes bigger, and then once it gets bigger, it just bursts, and it might not be as easy to fix.
Yeah.
So that's us.
So 2 things there. One is I want you to ingrain in your skull problems are good. Problems are good. You know why? It's a gift to show that there was a better way to do something. If you think that way, life becomes easy. And number 2 is there's no company in the world where you don't make mistakes. You're always going to be making mistakes, but you learn, we work together, and it's amazing what we can do together. Okay, team 3, we all show care. What does that look like?
I'll speak about what happens when we don't, and
Okay.
Matt's going to do when it shows care.
Okay.
So I've done both shifts before. I've kind of seen a view of what night shift and what is daytime with
Yes,
the
yeah.
value and the care side of it.
Yeah.
When you're not doing what you're meant to, like with your orders, everything, basically what your job is meant to do, it just makes everyone's job twice as harder when there's no care.
Yeah.
And not only that, if something happens wrong with an order,
Yeah.
and that
Sydney Food and
order gets
Packaging, Trevor
delivered
speaking.
because the stuff hasn't been right at the factory.
Good on you. Adam, I'll find you back in 15 minutes. Sorry, I can't talk.
You're gonna lose product because you're not showing your care in the warehouse while you're doing everything.
That's
And
right.
not only that, if not showing care towards workers and stuff, leads to arguments, fighting, people leaving the company. Then you've got to hire more people again and fill that position again. And when you're not showing care like that, it can lose value for everyone, the company, everything.
Hello, Trevor speaking.
Great. Well put. Well, that's well said.
That was well said.
Well said. He's ambassador.
Sorry,
Yeah,
we'll have to call you back. Sorry.
you can see. Can you see in his voice? He cares. He does care.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great example.
I do like this place.
No, you're awesome, man. Okay, Matt.
And Matt's going to do the other side.
Yeah, so I guess when we show
Reception.
you that, then there's a smooth business flow. So procurement helping with warehouse for putaways if they're out of time. Daniel and I going out, I showed that we cared.
Yeah.
I showed my appreciation towards him. If he didn't come with me, I don't know what I would have done. But yeah. A
Awesome.
smoother business flow if we show you.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully, like I said, these problems come up. They're good. We have to tackle it. If it keeps coming up, there's a problem, right? There's something wrong with our system, the way we're doing. We have to start nailing that, and that's why I'm here. I'm going to help you guys with that, and make that aware that we can change that. Okay, we all have fun. Team 4, tell us a little bit more about that. What does that look like, and what does it not look like?
All the pieces of the puzzle fall in place. It's fun. And one piece is missing, the puzzle is incomplete. It's not fun. Anywhere from staff, customer, when we mention staff, it's office, warehouse, drivers, anywhere.
Everybody. Yeah.
Whoever is not satisfied, even the customer, it doesn't make fun.
Mm.
It's always going to be an issue. We know that there's going to be an issue, and that's not fun.
Mm.
Whenever everything is in place, that's the most ideal place. It's difficult, but it can be done.
So what does it look like? What does fun look like?
To me, it sounds like we've got to buy some puzzles.
We can. We really need to get pieces in place.
Or should I say, what does fun feel like?
Satisfaction.
Satisfaction.
Happy.
Smile on your face. You know,
Smile
happy.
on your face. When you are happy to work,
Yeah.
when you're coming to work,
Yeah.
that this is where you want to be.
Mm.
If this is where you don't want to be,
Mm.
you just want to be there and finish up the job, that's not fun.
No.
That's the worst thing. So self-satisfaction matters a lot, and it is for every staff member out here.
Absolutely. That's why this is
This is
not just for a couple of people. This is for everybody. You wanted to say something, Kishan?
Just that if that all the top one fall in place, we can all have fun.
Okay.
You're 100% right. And imagine we're all, because we're not here at the moment. And that's okay. But you believe we can get there. You know,
We used to be there.
we used to be there, and this is possible. So we can. It just wasn't like you had it intangible. You kind of, the people that were working there, they kind of knew they worked this way, but without knowing this way. But from now on, we're going to know that when we hire new people, they're going to be fitting into this. You know. And when everybody's working like this, it's going to be a really fun place to work, just like Kishan said. And that's worth any money. You can earn a lot of money, but if you go home and you're pissed off the whole time, wow, what's the point of that? So, okay, action items for now. Trevor's going to create a SFP Lean Learn group on WhatsApp. He's going to go get everybody on there. He's going to put on a thing where there's an app called 2-Second Lean Play, and we're going to start using that. Okay, so next meeting, we're going to go through chapter 1 of this book. Okay, so in this book is what you don't know. You don't know what you don't know. In this book is a secret to getting that fun, ownership. Everything there can be achieved from this. It's a small little book, very simple, and I'm going to be holding you guys' hands through the journey to get this in. And like I said, in 6 months' time, you're going to look back and say, shit, we should have done this a long time ago.
And guys, it's really easy. Even if you can't read, just download that little 2-second lean that I'll put on the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
And the author actually reads the chapter to you.
Yeah.
So you can be like a little 2-year-old kid getting a bedtime story.
And so in the next meeting, we're actually going to go through the book, or we'll go chapter 1, and it's 3 pages. Very quick. And there's a lot of magic in here. We're going to turn this company around, get some good customers. Okay, so that's for the next meeting. Next, okay, first thing, reflection. What is that? Oh, no, that's just based on that in a minute. What is it? What is the writing? What do you remember from the writing?
Writings on the wall.
Learning model. Do you remember the learning model? That's the learning model. Okay, writing. Remember those 4 stages? If you don't remember, come ask me. I'm going to come test you guys. Okay. What is that?
Target.
Yeah, but what was in the middle of the target? Why? That's right. Why? So why does Sydney Food and Packaging exist? What? Make our clients and provide for our families. Okay, again, make our customers' lives and provide for our families. Brilliant. Okay, what is that?
Take ownership. Share. Have fun.
Brilliant. You guys are superstars. All right, well done. So tomorrow we're going to have another meeting. You guys are on the road, so we're going to record this. They can log in if I don't know if you want to do that. We'll work something out. Otherwise, we'll record and you guys can watch it. Okay. But tomorrow, so 8 a.m. or we're going to do 9 a.m. again.
Okay, 8's fine.
8's fine. You're in, Vivek? Great. 8 a.m. tomorrow. We'll do chapter 1. Okay.
And we'll do a Zoom link as well, so you guys.
So
can
if you have time and you're at a customer waiting for a customer.
Yeah.
Okay. Great job, guys. Thank you so much. All right, let's smash it
Great
out.
job, team.
Thank you.
Bong,
Let's go have some
can you
fun.
phone Adam?
Yes.
Matthew, will you phone House of Legumes, please?